Well, as mentioned earlier, we are joined by SABC commentator Brian Mofokeng, one of the longest-serving commentators currently in the game. Brian, great to be in your company. And, well, the Royal AM story continues in as far as South African football. We know what's been going on in the league. Lots of games have been postponed. We're still waiting to see what the scenario will be at the end of it all. But let's focus for now on the Nedbank Cup, the latest development. For those that aren't in the know, please break it down.
Very interesting. Thank you very much for having me, first of all, Caesar. I mean, if you talk about Royal AM, the big story is always going to be, why did it take so long for a decision to be made? You know, we're always talking the story to say, you keep postponing matches, eventually going to have Royal AM versus .. So Final League did come up with a decision to say, you know what, the game between Milford as well as Kukune will go ahead. So the winner of that game will therefore take on Sundown. So Royal AM officially booted out of the Nedbank Cup.
Now, the decision made, and it needed to be made from a Nedbank Cup point of view. When you take that same Royal AM scenario, and you juxtapose it to Swallows when they were going through similar problems. Tell us the difference between what Swallows went through, the decisions that were made then, and what Royal AM are going through, and what the difference is now between
If you look at the difference between the Swallows story, remember, it was an issue around them not paying their players. And eventually got to a level where the players said they don't want to be able to honor fixtures, and it was a load of story. But Royal AM 1 is actually involving a SARS issue. So it's more of a legal matter is sitting with SARS at the moment. So it's very complicated because until they've got a curator in between who's trying to resolve and sort out certain things around that. So maybe if the taker who comes up and says, I want to buy the team and get involved might have a different story. But at the moment, it is very, very interesting to see how they're going to be able to resolve it because time is running out. They haven't played matches, you know. When you pile up those matches, eventually, decision must be made. Whether do you forfeit all those matches and give points to the team they're supposed to play against, or do they play those matches, and when do they play those matches?
Now, with Swallows, came to a point where they forfeited matches and those points were given to the teams they were supposed to play. Should they not come to that situation until the Royal AM situation is sorted out, before the matches are just too many to play towards the end?
For me, that's the worrying thing, because you've got so many matches that are piling up now at the moment. It's already going to be a very congested season, given the fact that the season's going to wrap up a bit early. So I'm worried about that as well, to say when they're going to make a decision. But you know, if you look at the league overall, there's been those matches, those dates have been set aside for something might happen, alternative dates. Maybe they might be able to use those if they don't make a decision anytime soon. I see trouble going forward.
So we'll be waiting to see what the scenario is here. How long can this wait carry on before we reach a point of no return?
Only time.
Think about it. Some teams are still in the Nedbank Cup. The likes of Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, they still have to play against Royal AM. Some still are in CAF competitions, your Stellies, your Sundowns, your Pirates. So still a busy season with pressure going into March, April, May. How much time do we have to play?
It is worrying. You know, for me, I thought they would have made a decision by now already. As soon as you went through the first two matches, you're not on it. I thought by then they'll say, you know what, these guys are not serious, let's just really do something and move on. But the fact that they've gone in and they've actually had a meeting with the curator, had a discussion, have come up to say, okay, we'll wait to the league matches, but this one is a pressing issue. There's time constraints on this one. Let's get this one done. Let's put you out of this one and focus on the other one later on.